Hello, 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 hello. Is anybody out there? Let's see if anybody's out there. Can you see me now? Can you see me now? All right, so we have a little bit of an issue. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but you can hear me? Just tell me you can hear me. And if you can hear me, we can make it work. Can you hear me? Yes. Lola, yes, you can hear me? Yes. All right. You can hear me. Well, I've got to do some practicing on this because I had a really cool introduction. And the reason why you do like a video lead in countdown or whatever is because you want to be able to make sure you can set everything up during that countdown. 5 minutes is ideal. Let me see. Tell me if you can hear this. Let's see if we can just troubleshoot this real quick. Sorry, I know this is geeky and boring, but let's just go ahead and see if we can go ahead and do, let's see here. Let's see if that works. You can hear it. So, okay. I gotta figure that out. Do you see the countdown? Can you hear me? All right. Did you see the countdown at all for a second? Anybody? Is it going on right now? All right. I just got to figure it out. There's a time delay. It is what it is. So, appreciate you guys coming out on this Friday night, man. Thank you so much. I've got a really cool countdown. I just got to figure out how to make it work because it's awesome. And that'll give me time enough to do a few things. Number one, make sure it's working. And I'll just have to do some tests, and that's fine. I can actually do it probably, I'll just have a screen over here, and it'll just be private, and I'll figure it out how to make it work. But, let's see here. Yep. Hello from the Michigan Elvis Fest. Very cool. The big thing that I want to be able to do here, and I'm working on it, I'm going to create my own teleprompter right there so I can look at you, but then I can see the live stream and I can see your comments and everything. I just need to make a bigger screen, which I can do. So, So welcome to the Friday Night Mic Drop. Man, did you have a good week? I had a great week. A lot going on, though, man, I tell you. This episode coming up, it's so funny, man, because it's literally, I talk about why I did it, why I did this experiment. I talk about what the experiments are. I talk about the equipment, the gear, and then boom, we show the experiment. And a little bit of it gets geeky, a little nerdy, which I love. But bottom line is, in order to do it right, in order to do it in a way that people will, so there's like the entertainment value of it, and then there's the support value of it, but then there's also this massive community of people, human beings out there who staunchly believe that the earth is flat. There's a massive community of people who believe that you're dumb if you think it's flat. There's a massive community who never even thought about this, and there's a massive community of people who think, yeah, it's round. Yeah, if you think otherwise, you're stupid. And so I'm not trying to placate everybody. I'm just trying to be Switzerland, put a flag in the ground and say, I'm not on anyone's side on this particular argument during the experiment. Because why? Well, you're supposed to have an open mind during this stuff, which a lot of people don't. And if you wonder why I even went down this road in the first place, watch the episode and you'll understand. But I'm very excited. Hey, John, how you doing? Very excited about this episode, what it is going to bring to the table, and hopefully, at the end of the day, we're gonna figure this thing out, and it's going to be awesome. So, I know the conclusion already, but it'll be about 25 minutes of the experiment and everything else, and then I break away and do some interviews with the guys that were there for the experiment and get their firsthand takes on everything. Ran into a bit of a problem when it came to that. I've already talked to Michael Jung. I've already talked to Justin Sassanella. I did talk to Clinton Navarre and forgot to hit record. So I'm talking to him again tonight. And then Sean Barker has, God bless him, man, he has been on the road. He's killing it out there, but he was returning from Quebec. We were going to try to do it Thursday night, and his flight got delayed and everything. He landed, got home, repacked his bags, and drove 10 hours, got into Nashville, Tennessee last night at 2:30 in the morning, doing a show tonight, I think, and tomorrow. So, yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, the dude is. So we're going to try to record it Monday, which obviously means I've got to record it, edit it, get the finished version done in, less than a day, which is scary. But we're going to do it, and I'm excited about it. Just a little heads up, there might be some merchandise coming out after this episode, a little fun thing and this was inspired by John Jeffords. Thank you, John. Your idea that you texted me one day resonated, and so I'm working on that right now, the process of that, and I will announce that at the end of the episode. And and why merchandise about this episode? Well, truth be told, there was thousands of dollars spent to get the gear, equipment, and blah, 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 blah to make it happen. So just trying to maybe recoup a little bit. So if you like it or you're interested, feel free to buy the commemorative item that will be talked about at the end of the episode. So that's it. I'm not going to say any more because I don't want to give anything away, but it's a lot of fun. And if you're sciencey, great. And if you're not, try to make it fun and explain it to the best of my ability. There's people like Doug Pelton that was on last week, and we'll get into the audio issue in a second. But there's people like Doug Pelton that, and he even said it in the episode. Listen, according to physics and everything else and astronomics and blah, 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 we know it can't be flat. And I get that. But there are a number of people out there from every walk of life, every mindset, from Christians to atheists and Jews to Muslims, and from Republicans to Democrats and rich and poor, all this stuff, who think that it could be flat. And there's people that, obviously think it's round. So the point of the experiment was simply that there's a way to look at this. And for those of you that have not gone down the very, very, very deep, say hello to Finn. You making an appearance, baby? For those of you who have not gone down the very, very deep rabbit hole of flat Earth, there's some compelling stuff to the argument that most people won't take into account because their mind is just closed. No, 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 no. I don't want to hear it. And rather than do that, I wanted to hear it all. I wanted to like wrap my head around it. So that's what we did. And then went out and said, okay, what can we scientifically do, while on the earth? I don't have the money for a rocket ship to be able to fly, millions and millions of miles away and look back and say, oh, there it is. I don't have that. So, but we did it. We did it, and I think our science is strong, so check it out. Next week, Tuesday, share it with your friends. Let's see, anybody on here? Lori? John? Hey, Jill? Kathy? Linda? Yep, Linda, you got to make a channel before you can post, and then you've got to subscribe to the channel. That's kind of the whole thing I've been talking about. So I appreciate it. Thank you. If you have a Gmail account, by the way, if you have a Gmail account, and if you look up when you're in your Gmail account, if you look up, there's like there's like 9 dots. And if you click on that, it'll open up a menu and it'll say YouTube. Your Gmail account is your YouTube account. It's the same thing. So it's not that hard. Most people already have, a lot of people have Gmail addresses. So it's not that hard. And then once you're signed into your Gmail account, you can obviously... How you doing, Finn? You doing good? You had a rough day? All right. Don't show the people you're behind. It's not polite. She doesn't know that it's not polite. She's doing that because she likes you, believe it or not. Please say hi to Scarlett. She keeps on saying hi, Elvis. I'm not Elvis. Wherever Scarlett is. Yeah, I'm not Elvis. I'm just Ryan Pelton. So anyway, so let's talk about the big elephant in the closet. And I got to be honest with you folks. I think that most people wouldn't realize this about me. The degree to which I get invested in something and care about something and will put blood, sweat, and tears into something. To me, that's like a normal thing. And I've also realized over the years, just through living life and observation, that most people aren't built that way. And, when it came to last week's episode, Finn, you can't do that, baby. You can't do that. Man, I'll tell you what, that literally, that broke me, man. It was very upsetting. And I got choked up for a second. I was so upset because I didn't want to let anyone down. I didn't want to let you down. I didn't want to let Doug down, or anybody else. And I did, and I did my best to fix it. And, but at the end of the day, that's a reality. And maybe just a measure of the investment into what I'm doing. So I apologize on the behalf of the channel, I guess, and me. It was very, just heartbreaking, man. Ironically enough, though, a lot of people were interested, which again, we're just struggling to try to get to that 1,000 views and struggling to get subscriptions and whatnot. And, a lot of people don't understand, just like the one gal who said, you had to log in to write a comment. Well, yeah, that means you have an account and then you can subscribe, and that does nothing but help the channel, because if you don't get to a certain point of all that stuff, you can't utilize the tools that YouTube gives you. So, and it's a rough road, but it's also a fair one. I get it. I've talked to so many people who have said, yeah, you got to work, and eventually it'll pay off. And, and I'm doing the work. So, eventually, hopefully it will pay off. But the bottom line is, let me describe what happened with the Doug Pelton Space Force retired Major Doug Pelton episode. So for anybody who listened to the episode with audio, and I was saying before, it had more views, likes, and whatever without audio than the majority of episodes have had to date. Just full-blown episodes. So that's probably a indictment on my content or whatever, but it's also probably a compliment to Doug and people wanting to hear what someone like him has to say. So which was interesting. So I went back and the bottom line was I have got so many files on my computer I had to run home to get a hard drive that has everything backed up. It's a 8 terabyte hard drive, which actually the Earth Curvature Experiment will be the last episode that goes on that drive. I just bought a new 12 terabyte drive to start backing up future episodes. So a lot of stuff, man, a lot of data for sure. But I ran home, I got it, took it back to Legends. And at that point in time, it was just a time crunch. I didn't really have time to evaluate, just get the episode up. So I re-rendered the last open timeline from Adobe Premiere. It had audio, re-rendered it out. That took about maybe 20 minutes. And then uploaded the episode, which took, close to 2 hours. And then, during that time, I made the new thumbnail that said with audio, like an idiot. And you guys saw it. And I appreciate you tuning back in. Thank you. Now, during that episode, you will notice, if you have ears, that there was a bass kind of noise when Doug was talking. It could have been connection. It could have been the room. It could have been the microphone. It could have been a million things. But I rendered out that episode. And it was funny because I was ahead of schedule because I had to allot enough time to render or edit this Flat Earth Experiment episode. So I was ahead of schedule, with everything. I was doing great. The Doug episode, we recorded it, started editing it. I did tell Doug, because of his position and whatnot, listen, I'm gonna send you something, and you can approve it before we put it out. And he did, and everything was great. I rendered it out, and I heard that sound, that it's a bass sound when Doug was talking. And Amy and I actually watched it together. She wanted to see it. And we watched it. And the first thing I said, in my own mind's eye is like, well, I can fix that. I can fix that audio problem. And so I did. Pretty simple. Wasn't that big of a deal. And went back and just re-rendered the video with the new audio without the sound. Now, I'm not exactly sure what happened, and it's obviously my fault. But that new version, which would be the final version, I didn't export. I did export audio, but the audio was all the way down. Now, you can tell, like with a video file. Video file will come up and it will have a video track and an audio track. This file that was uploaded had a video track and an audio track. It's just that there was no audio on the audio track. It was either muted or all the way down. Now, I do know that going back with the new audio that got rid of that bass sound, maybe I accidentally muted it as well as the original audio track. But I do know that I did not export the video with video only and no audio. So I don't know exactly what happened, why it happened. I don't know why I wouldn't have just stopped and listened, at least for a few seconds, because usually I always do to make sure it's synced up or whatever. But the bottom line is it's on me. And the original version that you guys kind of ended up seeing would have been better than not having any audio. But anyway, the bottom line is if you're interested, stop over, not probably for over the weekend. I'm going to upload the good audio version. So it's going to have audio and it's going to be good audio on my Patreon page, patreon.com/The Ryan Files. Sign up for free. And anybody who wants to listen to that can listen to it. Otherwise, I've already damaged the channel and the content itself bad enough by releasing a video with no audio and then re-releasing 3 hours later the same video with audio. It's just a shame, man. And I want to make a public apology to Doug Pelton and to you folks. And man, it's embarrassing and heartbreaking all at the same time. So yeah. Anyway, that's it. So just got to put that in the past and whatnot. But if you are interested, hop over to patreon.com/The Ryan Files. Sign up for free. It will be there within the next couple days. I just got my hands full with some stuff. Now, I will say too, I'm really upset. Man, I'm just I'm failing, and I apologize. I had some really cool things I wanted to be able to do. It's just not the same. It's just not the same as some other things I've done with this OBS, which is online broadcasting system. But I'll work it out. Because there's bells and whistles that you guys, for the Friday Night Mic Drop, might have some music playing. We might have some an intro thing so I can get everything set up during maybe a 5-minute intro. We got potentially some new music coming, talking to Doug Bruin about that. And a really cool countdown. You get to see clips of videos while it's going. I got this outro thing, and we could have lower thirds. We might have Finn drop in. There's a number of things we can do. If we want to have guests on during the Friday Night Mic Drop, we can. All that stuff, I just got to figure out how to do it through the OBS and YouTube, which I will. Yeah, I will. So anyway, all right, I'll give you a little hint. Let me see here. Yeah, I'll give you a little hint. Why not? Should I give you a little hint? Let's see, 24 viewers. Yeah, why not? So this is a little look at part of the design. The design's not going to be exactly this. But it says, I don't know if you probably can. Yeah. See that? It's going to be on a coffee mug. It's a little spoiler alert, but I think you guys probably knew where it was going anyways. And the design will be on a white coffee mug, 15-ounce coffee mug for all you coffee drinkers, because we all know that a 10-ounce coffee is just not enough first thing in the morning. Trying to think if there's anything else. Let me see what you guys have said. Hello, Scarlett. I'm not Elvis. Yep. Yorktown, Virginia. Awesome. People do ask when they read my shirt. That's cool. Yeah, I wore a Ryan Files T-shirt yesterday to work, and went to the grocery store after the show, and like 3 people asked me, and 2 people actually scanned the QR code on the back, which is funny. Marion, Illinois. Sean, Julie, you're going to see Sean Barker show. Is that where he's at? That'd be cool. Sarah, good evening. Christine, John. Hi from Tyler, Texas. PJ. Hello. Appreciate you passing the cards around, Jill. Thank you so much. Michigan Elvis Fest is going on right now. I know Ronnie Craig's up there as well. No picture all of a sudden. Where'd you go? Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to figure out this OBS thing. I will say, special thanks. I find myself saying this again and again and again and again and again and again, and for good reason. John and Christine Jeffords have been nothing short of a blessing along this journey, and I appreciate them so much. John was huge in this project of this episode coming up, and I do mention him in the episode, but I do want to just say publicly here on the Friday Night Mic Drop that a few things. Number one, John took his time. He was on vacation, and he took time to check my math on some stuff, some of the equations and the stuff that we did before we ever did the experiment. I wanted to make sure my head was wrapped around it correctly. And John verified some things as well as some additional information, which was awesome. He's always one to just give a little directional advice, which is awesome, and I always use it, and it's appreciated. But most importantly, he put me, number one, in touch with Mods Machining, and they made the mounts for the laser and the laser level in this project. But he has the Elvis Midwest Mafia Fan Club. I'm not sure what that is, who's in it. John, Christine, I know probably Kate and some others are in that. But whether it was them or not, it was John. John said, "Hey, I'm gonna buy these 2 pieces, and you just pay for the shipping." And I did, and man, I'll tell you what, that's huge. That's a massive help, and I appreciate it, John. Thank you so much to you, and exactly what the Elvis Midwest Mafia Fan Club is, I'm not sure, but thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's awesome. Very touching. And I did name, I forget the exact title I gave him. He kind of wanted, he kind of like hinted like, hey, I could be this. But I did give him an official title. And I think it was like Technical Sciencing Advisor to the Ryan Files or something like that. So, but he's awesome, man. So, and it takes a lot of people to do stuff like that, like Justin Sassanella and Clint Navarre and Sean Barker and Michael Jung on this episode. Couldn't have done it without them. And they're great human beings. I appreciate it. And obviously, we maybe wouldn't be doing this unless folks like you are watching and subscribing and telling friends. And, Jill was at the Michigan Elvis Fest. That's awesome. Passing around business cards. Thank you. At the end of the day, none of this happens without you. And I appreciate it, man. Yeah. PJ is P. Ferrulli. I know who you are. Last thing this P. Ferrulli said to me is, "Are you okay? You seemed a bit down. You had a bad show." True story. Which makes you always feel good about yourself. But anyways, you'll be back on the 27th, Julie. No matter what, I know you have a T-shirt that you bought, and I said I'd just give it to you, and I'll give you a return on the shipping. I got to check exactly on my outdates on that. If I think I'm going to be there. In fact, I'd almost bet everything that I'm going to be there. But in the event that I'm not, you'll get the shirt through Justin or Clint or whatever. So, yeah, because August 1st, I'll be where am I going to be? That's Atlantic City, right, Heather? Yeah. I don't know. And July has 31 days. So yeah, we'll make it work. One way or another, we'll figure it out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Okay, so we went over. This coming episode is going to be big. I'm actually excited. I hope that this will get out into the community of flat Earth and globalists and all that, because we didn't take a side and we didn't bash anyone. One of the things I brought up is like, well, it's kind of interesting because there was a time when if you believed the Earth was round, that you might get burnt at the stake. Or if you believed that the sun was the center of the solar system, you might get burnt at the stake. Crazy, right? And here we are today getting ridiculed if you say this, the thing. Yeah, it's mind-boggling to me. So anyway, and listen, I believe this with all my heart. Did I ever believe that the Earth was flat? No, but I'm not going to be intellectually dishonest and elevate myself onto a pillar of, hey, look at me, by dogging someone who thinks that it might be, because there's some compelling arguments. Like, and the people that look at me and they're like, what? They don't even understand what the flat Earth model is and how it works. Because once you do, it's compelling. So don't be that person. Don't be that person. That's the person who, shows ignorance based upon ignorance, but yet masks it as knowing everything. And, just you look silly. So don't do that. Don't look silly. Be amazing. And figure stuff out and figure out if you don't know, because honestly, it's so funny. Like I was talking to Clint Navarre, totally dressing room conversations. Totally, yeah, it's not flat, dude. But it was funny because he had a moment driving to Shoreline B during this experiment where he's like, what happens if like they fire up that laser and boom, and it is flat? Which is really awesome. I love the fact that he was open to have that conversation in his mind. Likewise, and I wouldn't call Michael Jung from Lost Boys Barbershop, I wouldn't call him a flat earther per se, but I do know that he's done a lot of it, looking into this. And like I said, there is a compelling argument around it. So, when Michael heard or kind of saw the writing on the wall, he was like, yeah, I guess it is. That's kind of cool. So we're not know-it-alls, and I'm certainly as dumb as I looked, as demonstrated by last week's episode with retired Major Doug Pelton, Space Force, with no audio. I am as dumb as I look. But in this particular episode, the reason why it's awesome is because I had an awesome team of people around me, including the guys on the experiment and John Jeffords and Mods Machining and so many others. So it's going to be awesome. I was kind of shocked how short it is in terms of just like, the experiments were like boom, 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 cut and dry. Most of it is explaining what we're doing and why we're doing it. But yeah. And there's some really cool little Easter eggs in there. Something funny happened on Shoreline B that is unexpected. It's just cool stuff. So anyway, got a boatload of work to do to get this episode out on time on Tuesday, and So I'm just going to pedal to the metal. I'm going to be recording the intro and outro tonight. Also going to be re-recording my interview with Clint Navarre because I did not record our conversation, the Zoom part of our conversation, because I am as dumb as I look. You will believe that eventually. But outside of that, I think that's it for this week. But it looks like truth isn't no more. It's what's made up. Yeah. Hey, there's Clint Navarre. Clint will tell you I'm as dumb as I look. He will tell you. He's been there. All right. I'm going to try ending this fun little Friday night mic drop. We'll see if it works. It probably won't. But if it does, that would be amazing. I appreciate you all. Stop by theryanfiles.com. I think I'll have, from what I understand, the merchandise, commemorative merchandise will be out at the end of the episode. And obviously, John Jeffords, I got you a mug, baby. But check it out. In the meantime, like I said, go and you can go click Become an Agent. It'll take you to my Patreon page from theryanfiles.com. Sign up for free, and you'll be able to get the episode with Doug Pelton, Space Force, with the corrected audio, which is what it was supposed to be, but it wasn't because I'm as dumb as I look. So, anyways, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. I really do. I'm going to try this outro, and if it works, great. And if it doesn't, it will work in the near future. You guys are awesome. Let's do it. Cheers.